This is Ned Mongan here, boys from London. This goes back here to all smelly poor Bernie sons and grandsons. I'll start with you first, Bernie. You should have a small bit of comprehension in your bosses. When were you, or when you ever will be, any of our bosses? You never ever will be a boss of any of us. I tell you, Bernie, 20 years ago in Harlingen, in the middle of Harlingen, you mightn't tell your sons this because you might be ashamed. In the middle of Harlingen, I dragged you, me and another fella dragged you out the front of a pickup, and we bit you with a pick handle and we stuck a fork in now through you. You were 2-3 days in hospital. After getting out of hospital, you were 2 weeks or something before you came out of the house. Your brother-in-law's wife was there for witness. She seen all that. Get your sons to ask the uncle's wife, and she'll tell him everything what happened. We done the same thing to your brother Martin a couple of weeks after that in Blackbird Hill. It was in the supermarket. It was in the car park, and you ran into the old shop, the old supermarket. We followed him in, and he fell on the floor, and we kicked him like a football. A couple of weeks after that, then you were told to get out of London. You got out of London, and you didn't come back around since. Then you have the cheek, them boys going around saying that you had husband bar from Ennis. We're not from Ennis, innocent boys. We're not from Ennis. We want you out of London. You were in London, living in London, working in London. When you were getting better off us and told to leave it, you get up and left. We went back into Ennis then. You were a bit like an innocent boy around Ennis. We got up then and we left Ennis. We came back over here. England is our home. Everyone knows that. So don't come out of the foolish talk. Then you start mouthing off then here when my Uncle Michael died last missing up in Limerick that you're going back to the throne, you don't care what happens. Nobody will stop you. We made a watch out before I went back. It shows what kind of different men we are. That we're men of a word, because before we went back to Ennis, we made a WhatsApp saying we're not letting you back to the throne. That was your uncle. That was your uncle as good as my uncle. But you knew him better because you're back there all your life with him. Not missing him. Then you begged us then for to let your mother back into it. Because I was your mother's brother. We wouldn't have that. We wouldn't have none of you back. What did you do? Then you got on the phone, Bernie, making a fool of yourself, saying that you're a man of your word, and you told me you're a man of your word that you'll go back into, you'll meet me tomorrow at the wake in Ennis Diamond. Next day at the wake, what did you do? When you knew we were at the wake, you went up with a load of schoolboys up around Cork, making our watch up in Cork, saying you're waiting for us. You're dirty innocent boys, your own people. You're a laugh to the world, but you're a bigger laugh to your own people because they know more about you. You're a dirty fool of innocent boys. I don't know what to call you. Then you have the cheek, then you're saying you're our bosses. We're your bosses. You're known for that on your boys all your life. You goes on to places when people is not there. You've done the same thing, boys, with Flones, when you know we wasn't going to Flones around Ennis. We didn't want to go because we had no business going. But the day we had business going, we went and we wouldn't allow you to go, and we let the whole world know that we wouldn't allow you to go. You used to do the same thing. You used to let the throne and go ahead. When you knew we wasn't at the throne and at the grave, you used to come in then 10 or 15 minutes before it was over. You're known for that. Sometimes you used to come in with the shades. So don't come out with that shit talk, boys. And we'll go to Ennis again, and we'll go to Ennis Diamond again when we have business. My uncle died a couple of months ago, a lot missing him. His cross is coming up. My father will be there, and every one of his sons and grandsons will be there with him. And see what kind of men you are then. You dirty, shitty, smelly McDonald's bastards. Now this goes to you, Bernie. Sick John in Cork that was never no more good to his wife, the way he was left. This goes to you, Peter. You have a brother, Peter, living in Manchester for the last 7-8 years, and there was no heat passed to him. So think before you talk. There was no heat passed to him. Another thing, Peter. I have business in Waterford as good as your business in Waterford. You're married into Waterford as good as I'm married into Waterford. Before I went to Waterford a couple of months ago, I was 2 weeks in it. I was 2 weeks in the site. And before I went, I give the word to you that I'm not letting you back into the Waterford site. For the length I'm there, you're not coming into it. I stood by my word again. Because for the length I was in Waterford, you didn't come into it. But when I left Waterford, after 2 or 3 days, you went into the site. So you're telling me then, what kind of men are you? You're telling me then that you're our bosses. You, Peter, and I'll make another promise to you now, and I'll give you my word again. The next time you come to White City, you'll stay in and stay out of it. Because the day me or any of us will find out that you're in White City, you're going to be one sorry man. You will never get something through your head, boys. You can call it out all names, you can put up a lot of comments about me, or call it out all names. What's the point? What's the point of doing that when you know where we are? Your son was hacked a couple of months ago, Bernie. You're saying you're proud of your sons. You shouldn't be. And your sons shouldn't be proud of you. Because one of your child, he wasn't a man, he was near your child, was hacked a couple of months ago in the garage. I don't know who done it. I don't know the man. I don't know who done it. Never seen him before. But you know who done it. You done nothing about that. Couple of days ago here, then last week, your other son that was hacked. Don't know the people. We didn't do it. I don't know who done it. You do nothing about that. He was 4 or 5 days left in hospital with the drips hanging over him. He made an old WhatsApp, you okay, and he's dragging his old leg, God help him, dragging his old leg across the floor with a big old nappy across his face. A nappy innocent boy is for a child's arse, not for a man's face. You dirty old innocent boys. So Bernie, don't have the cheek of saying that you're proud this ways and proud that ways. What did you ever do to me? Then there's all comments left on the internet what you done to me, hatches on the head. No, the shit talk, boys. Have a bit of cop in, because everyone knows, the things that you're saying, everyone knows is only shit talk, that you're only fools. Because if any man got 4 or 5 raps of a hatchet on the head, he's left dead. Or else, if a child hits you with a hatchet on the head, he'll do harm to you. I followed you into the courthouse, Bernie, and you run, and everyone knows that. You run up to the judge's bench, and you start crying to the judge for the saviour. I was beating you with a hatchet. I put 3V to hospital. 3V went to hospital that day. Yes, I did go to hospital, but I didn't go with raps in the head. I got 3 little stitches in the head where someone hit me. I don't know who it was, but they must have got it further, because when I looked behind me, they took away running. There was no one there. So don't come out with that shit talk, Bernie. I'll give him my word, I'll stand by it. And I'll give him my word again. None of ye, like we give you our word when we were all young fellas, that ye leave London and you left it. None of ye will ever camp in London or stay in London again. And that's a promise I'll make to ye. You, Peter, as I said, you're known for going to places when people is not there. Come to White City, in and out. Don't make an old WhatsApp and say, oh look, I was in White City, when you could be 200 miles away. Make an old WhatsApp in White City and let me know that you're there.